Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 career mode here with Southampton. We've got a huge episode coming up today as we get to the crunch period in the Premier League and the Champions League and also the FA Cup as well. 4 big games coming in the league, including a trip to Old Trafford, which will kick off today's episode with a first v second clash against Arsenal, which could see a real change in momentum in the race for the title. And we'll also have both legs of our Champions League quarter-final against Bayer Leverkusen alongside our FA Cup quarter-final against City. So lots of big games coming in all 3 competitions as we look to remain in the hunt for the treble. Let's dive straight into our first, away at Old Trafford, taking on Manchester United. Currently down in 12th place. Despite, of course, having a great team, this needs to be a win as we've dropped to 2nd place, 2 points behind the Gunners. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, big game to kick off today's episode. Not only here at Manchester United, but at Anfield as well, as the Gunners taking on Liverpool. So this match week could have a big ramifications in the race for the title with just 10 games left to play. We, of course, will still have to play the Gunners, which will come later on today in a big clash. But we've just got to do our job, and after slipping up against Manchester City in the previous episode with a 0-0 draw at St Mary's, we can't really afford to drop any more points between now and the end of the season, as Camavinga lets fly and De Ligt gets in the way. Oh, Stein pinches it back though. Stein round the corner for Martson, lifts it in for Marcus Leonardo, and the header straight at Andre Onana. Stein into Camavinga, forward for Marcus Leonardo. Can he finish this time? You bet he can. Onana's not getting close to that one, celebrates in front of the Manchester United fans. And Marcus Leonardo, I don't think he's quite going to make up the ground in the race for the Golden Boot. We've still not had a player win that in the course of the save. And due to the injury he suffered earlier on, I don't think he's going to make it this year either. Past the dive of Onana into the back of the net and gives us a big lead. Yeah, I'd say we're pretty deserving of our lead as well in this opening 35 minutes. We had a couple of chances which forced Onana into saves, and we've had most of the ball in Manchester United territory as that took a big deflection off Matthias de Ligt. He's got in the way of a few shots already. Ball forward to Xerxes, reuniting his battle with Taylor, but United have been really sloppy in these opening stages. Taylor through the gap to Stein, and now Marcus Leonardo, lovely feet. Marcus Leonardo onto the right foot and drills in the second. I tell you what, that little drag back, you've probably seen me use it quite a lot, especially in this last season. It is so good, man. It's slightly overpowered, but it's the only way you can really get a yard from defenders. Marcus Leonardo drags it back onto the right foot, drills it past Onana and doubles our lead, and that should be enough to see us out with all 3 points, although we have been known to bottle 2 goal leads at Old Trafford before. Kjærgaard lifts it forward. Kjærgaard again through the gap for Joshua Xerxes. He might get his goal. He looked around Muric, who did well not once but twice to deny the big Dutch centre forward, and that should just about do it as well. United have really not offered too much in this game. We kept them pretty quiet, mainly due to the fact that we kept Xerxes quiet, and we will take our 3 points back to Southampton. Let's go and find out how Arsenal got on at Anfield. Well, as we see some good news as Xabi is returning from his injury, and Chelsea also winning the Carabao Cup, beating Brighton in the final. Not having a great season in the league, but at least getting their hands on a domestic trophy. So let's find out how Arsenal got on at Liverpool, and they won again. Man, Arsenal just keep on winning. Really could have done with Liverpool taking at least a point off them there. That pretty much rules out Arne Slot's side in the title race. So it's a straight shootout between ourselves and Arsenal. And with the form that they've been in, it's a bit like Chelsea last year, went on a ridiculous run towards the end of the campaign. I think we're going to have to beat them in our next league game at St Mary's. That is a huge one. We know that if we win all of our remaining 9 games, we will be crowned champions, but that includes Arsenal at St Mary's and travelling to Liverpool on the final day of the season. That Arsenal clash is huge. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange feeling kicking off here at the Etihad. Both teams look to have made a couple of changes, both still very, very strong, but with that game against Arsenal coming in just 3 days' time, I'm more focused on that. I'll be perfectly honest. Despite this being a cup quarter final, we won the competition last year, so it's not as big of a priority for me as we've already got the trophy in the cabinet. I'd much rather focus on the Premier League and the Champions League. So I've made quite a few changes, but I'll be disappointed if we go out, but I won't be absolutely devastated. Yeah, first 45 been and gone, and I'm looking at the clock and thinking about my subs with that Arsenal game in mind. Not going to make them just yet, but yeah, I'm already thinking about that. I'd rather forfeit this game here to have our full strength side ready for that Arsenal clash. I don't want to go too early with my subs, but I trust the rest of the boys that are on the bench. Cole, he's going to get there. And he's quick as Elliot Cole. And look at Connor Cox. Cox running through. Cox, can he finish? Yes, he can. The top scorer. Get to those away fans, young lad. Connor Cox, the top scorer in the FA Cup, does it once again. I thought we might be destined for a penalty shootout. But Connor Cox says, don't worry about it, Gaffer. Gets away from the defender. And I thought I might have taken it too close to the keeper, but he just about gets there before the keeper can narrow down the angle. Connor Cox drills in the opening goal with just 10 to play. That might be enough to send us to the final 4 of the FA Cup. Connor Cox once again. And Turner, and we just need to keep the ball. 1 minute added on, but we don't need to go anywhere with it. Just keep hold of that ball. And that is going to do it. Manchester City out of another domestic cup competition as Lewis Turner dispossessed on the edge. But it won't matter. We're heading through to the final 4. It was a pretty tight and cagey game. And the one real moment came to Connor Cox. And he took it and knocks Pep Guardiola's side out of the competition. His 5th goal in the FA Cup this season makes him the leading scorer, and that is exactly the result we needed before this big clash against Arsenal at St Mary's. Well, let's find out who it is we will face in the quarter-finals. Lots of big teams left, and it will be Manchester United at Wembley. Well, we've just beaten them at Old Trafford, but we'll be taking them on at the home of English football. And the 2 best teams in England this year could potentially be facing off in the cup final. But we know they'll be facing off now as Arsenal travel to St Mary's to take us on. 9 games remaining in the Premier League. Arsenal clear by 2 points. So we know that a win here will take us back to the top of the table, a point clear of the Gunners. But if they win, it is a big mountain to climb with just 8 games left to play. And with the form that they've been in, I don't think it'll happen. So at the very least, we need to make sure we avoid defeat here. But if we want destiny to be in our own hands, it has to be 3 points. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, this is such a huge game, and we've been on a good run of form recently, so I am feeling pretty confident, but Premier League title could be decided here today. Yes, there's still lots of games to play after this, but with the momentum it would give either side if they are to win it, you'd fancy whoever wins here, if there is to be a winner, to go on and lift the Premier League trophy come the end of the season. We've been so close in the last couple of years, and only to have fallen short each time. But this year, I feel like it could be our season. We've just got to pip Arsenal to it right at the end, as St Maximin does well. Oh, and looked to find Marcus Leonardo, who had held his run. Kudus into Livramento. Kudus has gone again. I see you, Mohamed. Kudus has done really well there. Kudus to Marcus Leonardo, looking to spin. Kudus, and Diogo Costa does really well. Fans shouting for a penalty. I don't think it was. Mohamed Kudus winning the ball as he dived at his feet, but this is a good spell of pressure as the ball swung in looking for Marcus Leonardo. Oh, Kudus just sent to the deck. Miguel Gutierrez does well. Doué heads on and was looking for Bukayo Saka, and that so easily could have come to the Englishman. Now we look to come on the break though. Forward to Marcus Leonardo. So much space for the Brazilian. Marcus Leonardo, tight angle! But it doesn't matter. Where did that space come from? Konate and Vandenberg, nobody tracked Marcus Leonardo. And the Brazilian fires us into the lead here. Vandenberg tried to come across, did kind of push him away from goal, but it doesn't matter. The Brazilian still finds the net, and that is a big, big goal for the Saints as we lead the league leaders. Yeah, we've been brilliant in this opening 45 minutes as well. We've wanted it more than Arsenal. They've had a lot of the ball in safe areas, but haven't really looked to threaten Muric or his goal, as Solé there does really well. Doué battling away, but look at the determination from the lads. Kudus does well. Saka steps away from St. Maximin, and Ødegaard through the gap to Martinelli, but he's dispossessed. He's come on through the middle, Gabriel Martinelli, and now Kudus. Speaking of through the middle, there is Marcus Leonardo. Great hold-up play, and now Tino looks for Marcus Leonardo on the chest, and a big save by Costa. Flag stayed down. Well, Arsenal need a goal, and if they do find it, it will completely change the complexion of the title race, but it has to be now. And Ødegaard to Doué, and the Frenchman has it still. Doué steps inside, looks for Saka on the crossfield, but that is going to do it as St. Maximin clears. A big, big win for Southampton that will move us back to the top of the Premier League table. And we said beforehand, we knew we needed to win all of our remaining 9 games. This, the biggest of the 9, and we've come out with the 3 points. First hurdle cleared as Marcus Leonardo, with the only goal, does see us return to the top of the table. That is a big, big win against Arteta's side. Well, we've cleared the first hurdle, but there's still another 8 to come in the Premier League. The first being Ipswich away at Portman Road as Arsenal host Crystal Palace at the Emirates. I would expect them to win that, so we've got to do our job. But with our Champions League quarter-final first leg coming in just 3 days' time, there will be plenty of changes, and I'm putting my faith in the backup brigade to get the job done away at Ipswich. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, quite a few changes for us today, and a return for this man at Xabi. Last time we saw him, he was just coming back from injury and got injured again straight away. So I'm hoping to keep him fit today as Xabi looked to bend one. What a return that would have been, but he's been cursed with injury since joining the club, and he's never been able to keep himself fit, as again the keeper tips that around the post. Camavinga's corner this time into Solé. It's loose. Van Dijk goes up. Teller wins the header. Van Dijk's in there again, and Ipswich will clear. Well, I've put my faith in the backup brigade, but so far we've not been able to find the goal, and the pressure just starting to build. Those away fans getting a little bit nervous, as we don't want all our hard work against Arsenal to be undone in the very next game. Cameron Archer, and Cam does well. And there is Xabi on the edge, and Varela again is in the way. Not been able to find a way through. Camavinga's ball in. Yusuf, oh, he's ballooned it. Well, guys, just over 20 to play, and still we're deadlocked at 0-0. And I just don't see this goal coming from anywhere. We've just not been able to break Ipswich down. It's been such a frustrating game, and it's so often the case when you play the teams down at the bottom, they are the hardest to beat. And well, we need something from somewhere, as Sekumara does brilliantly. Lewis Turner, the Wonder Kid! Lewis Turner steps up when his team needs him. And it's the one real clear-cut chance we've had all game. And Lewis Turner fires us into the lead. Boy, did we need that. Well, this is why I said I trust everybody in the squad. Sekou Mara, who's only played probably 6 or 7 games this season, off the bench. And he gets the assist for one of the youngsters. And here goes another. It's Elliot Cole to seal the victory. He's missed it. Oh, what a big chance. And he couldn't finish it. And with 10 to play, hopefully we'll be able to see it out. But that would have just relieved all the pressure on those away fans. Forward to Lewis Turner. I think that is going to be us safe as Turner finds Kudus. And Camavinga will look to place one. It's off the woodwork. And Sekou Mara can't get there to turn in the rebound. But it won't matter as Southampton grind it out once again. Narrow 1-0 victory. And before the goal from Lewis Turner, I was worried it might not come at all. But a big, big win for the Saints. Keeps us top with 7 to play. And our attention now turns back to the Champions League. Fighting on all 3 fronts, man. We are having to use every single piece of the squad. And it's the youngster, Lewis Turner, with just his 2nd goal of the season that wins it for the Saints. Well, it's great to see Lewis Turner in the Premier League Team of the Week. And also great to see myself winning the Premier League Manager of the Month. 7 matches, 6 wins and just 1 draw. And that is what has seen us return back to the top of the table. Let's quickly find out if Arsenal did win to keep the pressure on. 3 points. No, they've lost. Hang on, where are we? Hang on, I think they've lost. Gap is 3. They've drawn with Crystal Palace. Yes, because we were a point clear. So we now go 3 points clear with a goal difference of 7 being the gap. With just 7 games to play. Oh boy, it is really in our own hands now. 7 wins will do it. In fact, probably 6 wins will be enough. But 7 wins will definitely do it. Oh boy, as our attention returns back to the Champions League. This has been a crazy episode, fighting on all 3 fronts for a treble. Bayer Leverkusen away from home in Germany at the Bayer Arena, taking on Xabi Alonso's side as we look to once again bring an aggregate lead back to England from Germany for the 2nd leg. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, taking on Leverkusen here, I think for the first time in the save. I don't believe we faced them before now, but they've got a really good team. But another one of those clubs that play with a back 3, and with, I mean, you can already see on this right-hand side, Adeyemi playing as a right wing-back. You'd like to think that you can get at their back 3, but on the offensive, they've got so many great attacking players, so going to be very, very difficult to keep them quiet. I'm expecting a really tough game, especially in these rainy conditions. So let's see how we get on against the Germans. That's down the left. I have a feeling this first leg might be a bit of an onslaught on our goal, and we're going to have to dig in and try and grind out a positive result. Palacios from the edge, and Muric does well to get gloves on it, but yeah, Bayer Leverkusen looking really up for it tonight, and away from home, we might just need to grind out either a 0-0 or a 1-1 here, because to be honest, Bayer Leverkusen looking really good in these opening exchanges, and I'm struggling with this rain. Through the gap, Victor Boniface. Oh, it's brilliant. Bayer Leverkusen looking fantastic tonight, and I am struggling, man. We were knocked out at this stage last season to Manchester City, and coming to Germany here, we look as if we're struggling again. Boniface through the gap. I'm not sure who it is with the finish, but they've taken it brilliantly. It's Karim Adeyemi, and he drills it in at the near post. Man, we need to get a foothold in this game, because so far we have not got started. Camavinga into Stein, looking for Marcus Leonardo. And Stein again, and St. Maximan, tight angle, but he takes the shot on. And I'm not sure who it is in goal for Leverkusen. Did well, got his angles and his bearings right. And Camavinga, and look at Stein. And Marcus Leonardo, I think he's offside. He is, as he bends home what would have been the equalising goal. A little promising 5-minute spell from the Saints. We forced the keeper into a decent save, and we have had the ball in the back of the net, albeit the flag was raised. But a little bit more promising from us as we head into the break a goal down. Well, as I said in those early exchanges, you can get at these teams that play 3 at the back. And we have seen a little bit of that. Oh, that's got too much on it for Marcus Leonardo. This rain, man. We have seen a little bit of that towards the end of the first half, with us starting to create a few little half chances. But yeah, Bayer Leverkusen have been by far the better team. If we can snatch a point from here, if we can snatch a goal to make it 1-1, that will be a fantastic result. And there is Marcus Leonardo! And he does snatch the goal to make it 1-1. You get this man in front of goal and he will deliver. We've been second best tonight in Germany, but he's got us back on level terms. And if we can escape with a 1-1 draw, that'll be a fantastic result. Leonardo gets us back on level terms. Well, 20 minutes to play here, and I'd certainly have taken this after the opening 25-30 minutes, but we've still got to see it out as that shot comes in from range, blocked by Taylor, but Boniface has it, and Taylor is in the way again. Kudus forward for Lewis Turner. Brilliant touch on the chest. He won us the game last time out. Lewis Turner across to Cox, and Jared Branthwaite in the way. And the 2 youngsters nearly linked up for the winning goal again. Camavinga back to Lewis Turner. Does well to hold on to it. And now it's Southampton having a bit of a rally. Camavinga just slows it down, and that's clever from the Frenchman. But there's Edozie and Martson. Edozie and Lewis Turner off the woodwork. And Martson gets it all wrong. And that will probably do it for the first leg. A crazy, crazy game here in Germany. Bayer Leverkusen had the better of the early stages, but we weathered the storm, got ourselves back into it, and then could have gone on to win the game ourselves. We'll take the 1-1 draw, though, heading back to England in what has been a crazy quarter-final tie. Well, crazy, crazy first leg over in Germany. Really looking forward to closing out the episode with the second leg. But before we get there, it is Nottingham Forest at home for the Saints. Some good news as Anthony Gordon returning from his 3-month injury. And we now know 6 wins will probably be enough, but 7 will secure the Premier League title. Arsenal are playing tomorrow during Super Sunday, so we know that we can extend the gap to 6 points for at least 24 hours with a victory here over Nuno's side. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, still a few starters out there as Jakub Kiwior picks up an early yellow card, but looking for mostly the backup brigade again to do the business. We just about escaped Portman Road with all 3 points, but back home at St Mary's, I'd like to think we will make easier work of it as Xabi finds Cam. Was he onside? Yes, he was. Flag stays down, and Cameron Archer, who couldn't find the net against Ipswich, does so here against Forest inside the opening 10 minutes. I thought he was going to be flagged, though. Camavinga, who basically never misses a game for us. Gillette. Nice football. Gillette doesn't score many for us. In fact, I don't think he has scored since joining the club. And that was not too far away. Keeper was nowhere near it, and it bent just wide of the far post. It's been a really good opening 15 minutes from the Saints, and we're looking just to get the job done as quickly as we can. As Nathan Teller picks up the loose ball, and Xabi now. Xabi going on, and Xabi, what a save. Walker Peters finds Turner through the gap for Cam. Can we finally wrap the game up? Nathan Teller across to Cam. And we do finally get our second. It's actually a really nice team goal on the break. And Cameron Archer, well, I said at the start of the season, he hasn't quite been as prolific as last year. And whilst he probably won't end up with as many goals, he's been big for us in the sort of middle part in the second half of the season. Teller squeezes it across, and and Cameron Archer cannot miss from there. 2-0, points in the bag, and Southampton moving 6 points clear at the top of the table, at least for 24 hours. Well, before we jump into our next game, we see Arsenal did win their game in hand against Brentford on Sunday to re-close the gap to 3 at the top. Just 6 games to play though, just got to keep taking it game by game and making sure we do our job. But of course, a big game to close out today's episode, Champions League quarter-final second leg. Deadlocked at 1 apiece after the first leg at the Bai Arena, where both sides could easily have won. Heading back to St Mary's though, I'm feeling confident that we can turn the tie around after going a goal down in Germany. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, off and underway here, and I'm glad to say it is dry under the lights at St Mary's. No more rain like we saw in Germany. That was horrific. That was one of the worst games in terms of weather that I've had to battle in FC 25. And as we look to come on the break, able to play some free-flowing football, Martson finds Marcus Leonardo, and he just couldn't pick out Stein on the edge. And now Tino into Yusuf, and Stein again. This is a lovely move. St Maximan and Stein. St Maximan back to Stein. Camavinga floats it to Martson, and he's looking for Marcus Leonardo, who gets there first. Marcus Leonardo, referee, how have you not called that as a foul and a red card? Marcus Leonardo storming through on goal. He'd beaten the defender, all ends up, who brings him down, and the ref gives nothing. Shocking decision, and Bayer Leverkusen get away with murder there. That was a clear foul and a red card. As Stein looks to send Marcus Leonardo again. Marcus Leonardo, let the defender get back and make the block. He shouldn't even be on the pitch though. Oh, Yusuf does brilliantly to pinch that back. Yusuf lays it off for Sem Stein, and he's away from Fofana. And Sem across the box, and Martson couldn't get there. That was brilliant by the Dutchman. St Maximan, nice feet through the gap to Stein, and this time we finally have our breakthrough. And it's Sem Stein. What a signing this man has been throughout the course of this save. Every year delivering goals and delivering assists, and he's just popped up with another big one in the Champions League quarter-finals. Keeper commits himself with the dive early, and Sem lifts it over him into the roof of the net via the crossbar. Oh, Kudus getting back and doing the dirty work, and now Stein forward to Marcus Leonardo. This is the moment he's been waiting for, and that may just be enough to secure it. Southampton surely now heading to the final 4 of the Champions League. An absolute bullet from the Brazilian. And it's all over at St Mary's. A big win for the Saints as we head through to the final 4 of the Champions League. Sem Stein was absolutely fantastic out there today, and his goal set us rolling as we turned the game and the tie on its head after trailing in Germany. Scenes at St Mary's as we head into the Champions League semi-finals. Well, alright then guys, that is where we will leave it for today's episode. But before we end things, let's find out who we will face in the Champions League semi-finals. Southampton will be taking on Villarreal. So it's England against Spain in both Champions League semi-final ties, as Manchester City take on Atletico in the other tie. Oh, that's an interesting one, that. Looking forward to that. Coming in the next episode, along with more big games in the Premier League. Still 3 points clear. It is in our own hands as we host Leeds at St Mary's in our next game. So lots to play for in the Champions League, the FA Cup and the Premier League as we're looking to remain fighting on all three fronts. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. It's a really fun one to record. Lots of big games and lots of big wins. I'll catch you for the next episode very soon, guys. You won't want to miss it, including our Champions League semi-final. Take care and peace.